If you have a dream, you gotta pursue it, you gotta try it.
Welcome to El Cafecito Travel Talks with Tony Lloyd. Each episode, Tony sits down with travelers, expats, creatives, and community voices from across Latin America and beyond, sharing stories of travel, culture, connection, and the journeys that shape us. So grab a cafecito or a tea and enjoy the conversation.
Hello everyone, my name is Gregorio Cárdenas, Juan Gregorio Cárdenas.
We're talking a little bit about your adventures today. But before you started off on your adventures, where are you from?
I'm from Medellín, Colombia.
Tell me, your whole life you've lived in Colombia? Have you lived anywhere outside of Colombia?
Most of my life I've been living in Colombia, specifically in Medellín. When I was 17 years old, I went to Canada for 6 months. I lived in Toronto for 6 months. And after that, I came back to Colombia, and I've been living in Medellín since then.
Right now, the whole world is looking towards Colombia, and a lot of people are looking to go to Medellín.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your thoughts? Why did you want to leave Medellín and go travel?
It's just that I wanted to get out of the city and get to know new places, new countries, new people, new cultures that I probably wouldn't find in Medellín, or at least in the way that I wanted to find it. Or
Okay.
I'm trying to.
So what made you decide to travel independently?
All my life, I've been a big fan of motorcycles. I think this is one of the main reasons because I started traveling, because motorcycles gives you the opportunity to have more freedom at the time of, and allows you to, have like a different experience of the places you visit. And in the other hand, I think that I started traveling this time alone, on my own, because it's the perfect time to do it. Like if you wait for a special moment or a specific time where when you can travel with friends or family or other person that has the same time and the same schedule and the same and like the same things that you do, is very difficult. So if you continue waiting for that person, probably you will never start traveling. So you gotta take the decision to do it by yourself and do it alone if it's needed.
Okay. And so you just gave it away. I was about to tell the audience that you're actually traveling on a motorbike. And so we're actually talking, we're actually sitting here drinking tea, talking in Cuenca, Ecuador, in the El Cafecito hostel. Like, what were your family and friends saying? Here you go telling them that you're about to leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a lot of advices from people who has never completed this trip before, but that they travel and they wanted to give me like some recommendations about security, about people, about what to expect, about what could happen in multiple type of situations. But I think that all those things were coming from a positive perspective, like all of them wanted to give me a good advice.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit first about your route. From where to where did you travel? You left. Mm-hmm. Tell us about what happened there.
Well, I started traveling back on September the 10th, and I started traveling from Medellín, Colombia. And I drove through the south of Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, mainly over the Pan American route. But I also took like other routes. For example, during Ecuador, I went to the coast. In Peru, I went to the mountains. I went to Cusco. In Bolivia, I did a great route through the desert, through Siloli Desert. Basically, we crossed during 2 or 3 days the Siloli Desert from Uyuni to San Pedro de Atacama in Chile. So it was kind of a mix of off-road and also like asphalt.
When you left in September, Did you make it all the way down?
Basically, the first part of the trip, that was from September to December, I was working with a company, so the travel was going a little bit slower than I only did Ecuador and part of Peru during the first part. And then in December, I went back to Colombia for celebration, Christmas, and these things. And after that, after December, I left my bike in Lima the first time, and then I flew back to Lima on February the 1st to continue with the trip. Rode from Lima to Ushuaia, that is the southest point in South America, then to Buenos Aires, and then from Buenos Aires, I started going all north again.
Okay. Your first part of your trip, you were a digital nomad. Give us some of the pros and cons about being a digital nomad, especially on your bike, because you're packing your things up, you're putting on your bike, you have to ride to a certain destination, you have a calendar to fill. What were some of the issues there that came up?
I think there are positive and negative negative things about being a digital nomad. Of course, I think that is great because it allows you to travel, it allows you to be in different places around the world or in different cities while you're working and able to make money and to finance the trip. It also demands a lot of time. Don't think that because you're a digital nomad, you will have the entire day to have fun, to walk, to enjoy the places where you are. Like, yeah, you will be enjoying the places, but of course, you will also need to invest a lot of time, like doing your job every single day. There are different professions, but in my case, I was working in a commercial team, and it was really demanded. Have to call the clients and do the follow-ups and have all these while I was traveling. It's not only working, as you were saying, you also need to move from one place to another every time because at the end you're also traveling. Like that's the main idea. So yeah, it has some positive and negative things.
Okay. What did you do with your job? You quit your job? Did you get a leave of absence?
Like at the end, I put all these things on the balance because I said like, okay, this trip is the trip of my life, or at least something that I really want to do in my life. I would like to have more time to enjoy it, like have the need to be working that much while traveling. I wanted to have more freedom for some months and enjoy it and invest all my time and energy to the trip. So I decided to quit my job when I went back to Medellín. So I was also saving up money before quitting the job and before taking the decision. And well, that's how it happened.
Okay. A couple of the people that might be listening to us, they might be a little bit more technical when it comes to motorbikes, which I know nothing about, just for the record. Could you just explain to us briefly what type of motorbike you're on?
My motorbike is a Kawasaki KLR 650, 5 gears. Sometimes you wish you could have a little bit more speed, but it's perfect like this. They call it like the tractor. It's like a tractor. It has a lot of power, but not too much speed, but the motorcycle is perfect.
Let's forget about the part of the digital nomad for a moment. What were some of the other challenges along the road?
Like one of the main challenges, of course, is the motorcycle. Sometimes you have some troubles with the bike that you gotta fix on the road, that you need assistance from someone else because you can't repair them. So I think that will be one of the problems that I had. Besides that, everything was like really quiet. Like I didn't have any big problems during the trip.
Was there a moment where you were just like, okay, what am I doing here?
And of course, there were many times, for example, where I said like, what I'm doing in this situation. For example, I was doing the Dead Road or the Jungas Road in Bolivia from La Paz, and I wanted to go to Colchacani, but the road was terrible, and I got stuck on the mud because the motorcycle was slippery all the time. I got to have some rescue from a guy that was going in the truck, and he said like, there is no way that you're going to Colchacani. You gotta go back because the road is terrible going there, and you still need to do like 200 more kilometers, and it's all the road. So yeah, there were many times that I was in like, what am I doing here? For example, while I was doing the route in the Siloli Desert from Mujuri to San Pedro de Atacama, like the first day I was sleeping in the desert, and the temperature was like -3 degrees Celsius degrees, and my sleeping bag was like, the comfort zone was like 10 degrees, so I was freezing at night. And so at those points you said like what I'm doing here, like I really wish that I could be at home. But probably when I was thinking those things, I was also saying like, if I would be at home, I wouldn't believe in all these situations and things that are happening to me right now. Every negative things that happen to you during the trip becomes an experience and something positive. Yeah.
Okay. Like on an average, how many hours a day are you driving?
At the beginning, I was taking it more relaxing. Like I was only driving 250, 300 kilometers per day.
So how many hours is that?
If you drive around 100 kilometers per hour, it will be 3 hours. I usually ride between 150 to 200 kilometers in one ride.
Okay.
And that takes me around, I don't know, if you have like a really good highway, it could be 2.5 hours to 3 hours, and then you stop. And if you have like a lot of curbs and high conditions and these things, it can be more than 3.5 hours maybe to do these 200 kilometers that I'm telling you. But now that I'm going back to Colombia, like on the way back from Ushuaia, I've been driving like 500 kilometers per day, 600, like the maximum was almost 700 kilometers in a day. and that's a lot, and that could take you, I don't know, 10 hours.
Tell me a bit about one of the moments where you say, okay, this moment will stay in my mind forever.
I think that is hard because when you say like, well, say Ushuaia is just like a destination, it's like just another place where you're going. Of course, it is the goal you have, or at least is the goal I had since the beginning of the trip. But it's just another city where you're going. Like the real magic or the real impressions are during the way going down to Ushuaia. So all the people you meet, all the experience you have, what is more like valuable,
Right.
and what it stays longer in your mind. Because there are these people you met. For example, one day that I will never forget. Okay, this comes to my mind is when I was trying to do a part of the road in Argentina that's called Los 73 Malditos. Los 73 Malditos is basically 73 kilometers of off-road with really, really bad wind conditions. So this day, I tried to cross the 73 Malditos with a Brazilian guy that I met the day before trying to do it. And well, we were just going to cross the 73 Malditos, and we were only able to do like 10 meters of the road. We tried to do it, but the wind conditions were so bad that we couldn't cross.
Okay.
Like the wind conditions were over 70 kilometers per hour wind conditions that day. So this Brazilian guy motorcycle fell off on one side because of the wind. He was trying to walk to me because I was trying to hold my bike before it fell over. And he was trying to walk to me, and like the wind was blowing him up, like it was taking him away. It was really hard. And yeah, that day was absolutely crazy. Like that day, other guys in a Toyota truck came to us, and they put the truck as a shield, so the Brazilian guy could leave the bike because the wind was so strong that he couldn't fight against it.
Wow. Okay. Did you feel that you found what you had in mind when you were leaving to go? Obviously when you were leaving, you're looking for an adventure, and they say that when you're looking for an adventure, you sort of have something in your mind. Did you find that?
I don't know if I was looking for something specifically. Maybe I was just looking to disconnect a little bit and have like a different perspective of life or other things that you could do. Like I believe that all the people who's traveling are trying to get to know other places, other ways of life, get to know with more people. And I think that was the main idea of the trip. I learned a lot of things, mainly like sharing with people, learn to be open, to talk to other people.
One of the things that people always say when you set out to travel is that they're going to say, "Oh, you're all by yourself."
That's false.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to get at. Explain a little bit about that, what your theory is on that, and why that's false, that statement.
Everyone who that you meet on the road says like, okay, so you're traveling alone, you're doing this by your own. Yeah, you're doing it by your own, but you're never alone. Like you're the person who decides to be alone or not. Whenever you arrive to a place, you have the possibility to be open to talk to people or to be close on yourself. I don't know if you can say that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at least not to be open to talk or and to share to other people. And I think that everything that you need help, like you have like an instinct to socialize, to ask for help, to let people know that you are in need of something. That's one thing. And the other one is, yeah, as I was saying, like you always have the opportunity to connect with people if you're open to do it or not.
The people who are out there going, "Wow, he is so brave. I can't imagine getting on a bike and riding all that way by myself." I don't know. What would you like to say to those people?
I will say that it's more about dreams. Like if you have a dream, you gotta pursue it. You gotta try it. You gotta bet for that dream and see what happens. Because you will always have ideas in your mind, and you're the only person responsible for executing them and making them happen. So don't be afraid. Like if you start asking everyone for their opinion about what to do, and if it's a good idea, and if they think you will be able to make it or not, like really trust on yourself, trust on your skills, trust on your guts. And if you're feeling that that's something positive for you, that will bring you, I don't know, at least happiness, like just do it. Like give it a try. Maybe it will surprise you and give you more than what you were expecting.
Okay, no, I like that answer. What do you see next happening? Are you going to continue traveling? Do you see this as something?
At this point, what I really wanted to do is to get back to Colombia. I would like to get back to Medellín, rest for a while, maybe searching or discovering other ways of travel. Maybe not with the motorcycle. I love the motorcycle, but I also think that that is a lot of responsibility to have a motorcycle. So maybe I will like to start traveling to other countries or to other places, maybe without the motorcycle.
What does home mean to you now?
I think home right now means like a place where I can rest, where I can restart, I can start thinking about new things. But I feel that is going to be the point where I be able to see clearly and slowly all the experiences and all the feelings that I had during this travel, you know. And from there, I think that I will be able to start with other projects, take advantage of the things that I did.
Okay, perfect. Well, I want to thank you for joining me here.
Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you for sharing, for inviting me to participate in the podcast. Well, I'm sorry for the language limitations. Maybe we can do one in Spanish one day.
I'm completely fine with your language. It's not everybody speaks the same way, and the podcast is all about hearing different stories from different people.
Bueno, gracias. Muchísimas gracias a todos.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of El Cafecito Travel Talks with Tony Lloyd. If you'd like to learn more about today's guest, check the podcast notes for links and information related to this episode. And if you have questions, stories, or topics you'd love us to explore in future episodes, feel free to reach out. Tony also helps independent travelers plan meaningful journeys throughout Central and South America, including cultural and community-based experiences. And if you'd like to support the podcast and help keep these conversations going, you'll find a contribution link in the podcast notes. Until next time, thank you for sharing a cafecito or tea with us, and safe travels wherever your journey may take you.